everyone, Abby here at Purple Cottage Crafts, and welcome back to another video here on my channel. So today I'm going to be prepping some fabric that I'm going to be using in some rust dyeing, and I have some amazing rusty bits that I have been finding on my neighbor's property, and I think I have 2 or 3. I think just 2, because I think I'm still working on 3. In my video series called Foraging for Rust and Glass, I think I called it. I don't even remember what I named it. Anyway, I'll have that playlist linked in the description box below, so you can go check that out. And so I thought I'd kind of go ahead and just kind of film me doing this so I could share with you guys what I'm doing with some of the rusty goodness, because I've had a few people ask me under those videos, like, you know, what do you use this for? Decoration, you know, and how do you use it in your crafting and art projects? So I thought I'd share with you one of the many ways that I plan on using the rusty things I've been finding. Sorry for the crinkle. We went to Hobby Lobby the other day and I got a bunch of like base fabrics. And now I brought a lot with me here to Montana, but it's still in my totes in the back of our trailer. And like it's not a travel trailer, it's like a hauling type trailer anyway. So I can't get to it right now. So I went ahead and just grabbed some more yardage from Hobby Lobby. Plus they have the fabric 30% off. So I thought it was a good time to grab some. So I'm going to save your ears from all the crinkling, and I'll come back and I'll share with you the different kinds I purchased and me cutting some down to different sizes and widths that I want. And then we'll move outside to where the rusty stuff is, and I will start wrapping them and getting ready to do some rust dyeing. So I will see you in just a minute. Okay, so I have all of the fabric laid out that I want to be using. I'm not using all of this, of course. I'm just going to cut some lengths off and use that. And I apologize for the shade and the sun. It's just because of where I'm standing to film this right now, so I do apologize. This here is really cool stuff. We purchased one of those beds you can order online, and it's wrapped real tight like a burrito, and then it folds out and becomes this amazing bed. And this was wrapped around it, the mattress, and of course I kept the material and cut it down. It's a king size mattress, so I got a ton of this stuff, and I don't know what it is, the material. I'll hold it up, maybe you guys can, and I'll when I go to edit the video, if this doesn't look very good because I'm kind of on my tippy toes, I'm using my phone to so I can't really fully see, I'll put a picture in. But this stuff is awesome. So I really kind of wanted to see how this would dye with some rust. I'm also going to experiment with some different eco dyeing, things like that when down the road. So I have just a few fabrics here. This I purchased from the aisle where they have like all the tapestry and the upholstery type furniture and stuff. So I'm not going to use a ton of this because, you know, that stuff isn't the cheapest in the world, but I did want to experiment with a little bit. Maybe I'll do like a fat quarter size or something. But this here, I don't remember what this was called. I was going to take a picture of the side of the big, it's like on a big, huge cardboard spool, but I forgot to do that. But this is what it looks like. And it's just, I love this so much. This is going to be a lot of fun to play with in all kinds of projects. And then what I have left here that I'm going to be using is just a combination of different bleached and unbleached linen. And then I have some deck cloth and then just some plain white cotton fabric. So I think I got like 2 yards each of these, remember right? And again, I have a bunch of this in my fabric totes that I brought with me, but you know, I can't get to it easily. So I just wanted to go ahead and grab some more. Give me some of that. And then here is the duck cloth that they had at the Hoblob. So I'm going to go ahead and get things kind of cut up, and I will get myself kind of set up outside, and I'll start wrapping some of the different fabrics and things with some of the different rusty bits that I found, and we'll kind of see how this experiment plays out. So I'll see you in just a little bit. all my different fabrics cut up and ready to go. And I have here the one type of muslin, and this is the cotton fabric. I can't remember what this one was called, that really cool sheer fabric. This is the bleach linen, the duck cloth, and then this really cool textured stuff that came off of our mattress we purchased. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move this operation outside, and we'll take a look and at some of the rusty stuff, pick out some things that I want to use, and we'll get started. One last thing before we go outside, there is a possibility that I may not be able to talk as I'm rummaging through the rusty stuff and kind of getting things set up, because my husband and Jeff are outside and they are working on the front part of the cabin where we're going to be living. And so, you know, they're doing the man stuff of all of that. So it might be a bit noisy. So I just wanted to say that in advance because I prefer to talk through my videos, especially videos like this, because I just am such a chatter. But you know, I may not be able to. So I just wanted to throw that in there just in case, so you guys would know why. Okay, lots of outside noise today, so hopefully you can hear me talking. So this is some rusty stuff I started last night. Just, you know, like I would do when I was back home. So none of this is actually old or vintage, it's new stuff. And this is where all the rusty goodness is. Oh, sorry, I'm in the way. So all of this, and I have more bags, but they're over on the other side. So isn't that just awesome? I've got so many cool things to choose from to put in here. So this is the pan I'm going to be using to rust. I have all my fabric lengths already cut and ready to go. I brought out some rubber bands and then also some string. I'm going to start this thing. Of course, this is not going to be used for anything inside. And then I just have some string, so I'm going to tie some of the bundles up, and then some I'll use rubber bands. Sorry for the background noise, you guys. And then I have the peroxide and the salt and then the vinegar. So I'm going to go ahead and try to prop up my camera where you can watch me kind of selecting out this stuff. I'll do my best and to show you as much as I possibly can. So, all right, I will see you guys in a minute. Okay, still noisy out here. The neighbors are splitting wood, so I apologize for that. So I have myself set up. I've selected some pieces that I want to wrap the fabric around. I have some more down here. Sorry, I'm trying to, oop, there we go. Sorry, I didn't see, the light was in my eyes. I couldn't see the screen. So I have some things down here. I have the basics over there. And I might want to cut down the fabric a bit more. I'm not sure, to wrap some smaller strips around, but I have all the rusty stuff like right here next to me, so I can easily grab whatever I need. And then once I get this stuff in all wrapped up and everything, then I will go ahead and pour the solution on. Normally when I am rusting fabric, I usually have like a spray bottle with the mixture in it, but I don't have one right now, so I have to put that on the list next time we go to town. But for now, I'm just going to do it this way, and I think it'll be fine, and we'll go from there. All right, so since it's pretty noisy when they're splitting wood over there, I'm just going to have to make this part a process. I just want to come on real quick and chit chat with you and explain what I'm going to be doing next. Here we go. Okay, quick disclaimer. It is super windy, so when I go to edit this video, if it's way too windy, then I'll just have to put captions across the screen. So I just wanted to say that just in case the audio is okay. So this is day 12, or excuse me, 11 or 12, I forget. I'll put it across the screen. I lost track. So I did this the day before we went back home to Oregon for Thanksgiving. Back yesterday afternoon. So I haven't messed with any of this yet. I wanted to kind of document it a little bit. And so some of this froze. Well, a lot of it froze actually because it was freezing here when we left. And I'm really excited to cut into these things and see what we have. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually really excited for these two pieces right here. This was that packaging that I shared with you that came on top of our bed, our mattress that we ordered online. So I'm pretty excited to see how that's going to turn out. All right, so let's take a peek here. And I'm going to grab these things. Ooh, look. I'm going to grab these. Actually, I'll probably take the whole pan if it's not too heavy. I'll take some of the metal stuff off. And then I'll take it over to the bed of the pickup so I can have a good place to work where I'm not bending over. And just kind of see. Whew, that is so strong. A vinegar. Wowza. And yeah, I'm anxious to see how this is going to work. So how it's going to turn out, I mean. And this is the first time I've done rust dyeing with fabric and stuff outside, like in nature. And it doesn't look like it ate through the pan. I was kind of worried about that. I wasn't sure if it would or not, but it doesn't look like it did. And if it does, oh well. I'll get another one. It's not a big deal. So, all right. I will go ahead and get myself set up and we will unwrap these babies and see what we have. Okay, so I had to move the operation inside. It is so windy outside. It was making my tripod bounce up and down, and I figured you guys would not appreciate that. So I went ahead and came inside. So this is the first bundle that I unwrapped. And of course this is pretty stiff because it's been sitting outside and it's, you know, was frozen. It's been sitting, what did I say, 10, 11, 12 days, something like that. I can't remember. So there's the first piece. And then of course this will be saved because it can be reused over and over and over. I'm going to set that off to the side. And then I started unwrapping, I think it was this one, and when I decided I needed to stop and come in. So there's this piece here. And you guys will get a really good view of the fabrics once I get them rinsed off and all of that. So if you have some crinkle, I have some brown paper underneath the garbage bag. So just to kind of protect the table. Get these done here. So funny because they are just like so stiff, like it's even tearing, which is awesome. Because it's just, like I said, been sitting out in the Montana weather for just under 2 weeks. So, oh, these are going to be so awesome to use. I cannot wait. So let's kind of show you like this, and then as I mentioned, we will do a full reveal. Now some of these I tied with string and some I just use rubber band just for quickness. So I'm going to try to preserve as much of the string as possible. I'm not going to, you know, be too super fussy with it because I can, you know, use string no matter what length it is in all kinds of things. So I'm just going to kind of unwrap the string here. And I think what I might do, just to kind of make this a little bit quicker, is I might go ahead and go through and take off all of the string and the rubber bands, and then, you know, take the fabric off of the rusty bit when I come back. So I'm just going to do that really fast, and then we'll come back and we'll get to enjoy the unveiling of our amazing rusted fabrics. Okay, so I have all of the string and rubber bands off, and just look at how beautiful these look. I love it. And then even the rubber bands, not all, but quite a few, even have rusty marks on it, which is awesome. I love it. So these will definitely get reused in some other textile projects coming up. All right, so let's go ahead and kind of dig in. So I'm going to set the iron, well, the metal bits off to the side here because I'm trying to contain the rusty mess a little bit since I'm inside, but we'll go from there. So to start unwrapping these babies. And I don't remember which fabric was which, I mean, like right off the bat. But I don't think that's probably too super important at this point anyway. All right, and then there we have this one. So cool. Oh, I haven't done in this one yet. Just toss off to the side. Okay, there. I had to adjust the camera there. It was a little bit not quite centered. There's this awesome rusty lid from a can. I love those. And when you do this, if you are doing it outside, you know, then, you know, just what I've done before is I just work over, like, you know, garbage bags or some old cardboard or something like that, just to kind of catch some of the rust dust. And then, especially since I'm doing this inside, I have some brown paper on the table as well as a garbage bag over top, because I'm trying to contain this as much as I can since I am not outdoors. And this, I have to say, is probably going to be my favorite. No, I have not unwrapped the rest, but I love how this looks. Oh, I wish I would have done more of this one. I mean, I can. You guys saw my massive rust pile, but I digress. All right, so this is that really cool textured material that was on the mattress that we purchased online. I don't know what it is or what they use, but that turned out pretty cool. Look at that. And it's also, too, on some of the different bundles, the aluminum or whatever that is, that tub is that I'm using, it picks up on some of the bottom sides. And when I come across a piece, I'll show it to you because I saw it and I thought it was pretty cool looking. Like there's a little sample right there. So anyway, just wanted to point that out. It is not mildew or anything like that. It is all lovely, beautiful rustiness. So cool. Love it. All right, this is a half of a horseshoe here, or a quarter of a horseshoe, whichever. Get this undone. And then once I get all these unwrapped, I will be soaking them in just some regular water, and just to kind of loosen up the fabric and get some of the, you know, the rust dust off, because I don't want the rusty dust to be like in the projects I'm making for, you know, journals and stuff like that, because that probably wouldn't be very pleasant to be writing in your journal and have rusty dust all over your table. And this piece here is pretty cool. It's a long one. I think this was this a chain or some kind of a spring or something like that. So I wrapped it around the spring trying to get some of the marks of the spring, and I did right there. Pretty cool. And then got some great marks there. Now these may lighten up just a tad when I soak them, but that's what I do when I use different fabrics and textiles with rusting, is I do kind of soak them for a little bit, kind of rinse them off. Now, since we are not in our permanent living situation, I don't have the utility sink area like I did at our house back in Oregon to rinse this kind of stuff. So I'm going to be doing these in buckets, and I'm going to set them probably in one of the cabins because I don't necessarily want these to freeze. Look at that. I mean, if they do, it's not a big deal, but I just kind of want to rinse them and just kind of soak a little bit in some water. And I'm just going to be using just some plain water, like just from the tap, from the hose. So nothing special. I will be playing some more with different types of mordants, and I will do a video on that. Just a conglomeration of different things I've learned from other artists who do this kind of a thing. But if you would like to learn about it now, I mean, you know, before I get my video up, just, you know, look around for it on YouTube or Google. There's all kinds of videos and blogs and things like that you can learn this from. So it's pretty cool stuff. And then here is part of another super rusty horseshoe. Very cool. Some of my family, we were back home visiting for Thanksgiving. They're like, "You do what to fabric?" They're just like, "What?" Because some of my family still thinks of me as a scrapbooker slash card maker. That's just what they kind of know me as, because I've done that for, you know, pretty much all of my life. And, you know, I still will do those things. I'm not, you know, like written them off completely. But as you guys can tell from my channel, I've completely moved into the fabric and textile stitching world. I still play with paper, of course. That's always going to be my first love. But, you know, I'm experimenting a lot with different types of eco-dyeing, printing, rusting, all that kind of fun stuff, and different types of mark making. So it's just been really fun delving into this world in the past 4 years or so. And just kind of shaking some of the rust dust off there in the center. And this is one of the thicker muslins. I know that. I can tell just from looking at it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty cool? So these will probably more than likely lighten up. I'm basing that off of the fact that my first couple batches I did of rust dyeing, that's exactly what happened. So we'll see if that holds true again this time. I imagine it would, but you know, what do I know? It's always an experiment. This is more of that really funky material that was wrapped around the mattress. I'll bring these all back in view again when I get done. So there is that. And I hope I am not boring you guys by just doing this like with just me gabbing. I know a lot of you like that part of my videos, and I thank you, because I am a chatterbox, gabby abby here. So, and I wrap this inside, and it's ripping, and I don't even care, because it'll probably get ripped eventually anyway. Because I wanted to kind of get those marks as much, I wanted to utilize as much of the rusty metal as possible. So, trying to rest my elbows on here. It's crazy how heavy some of these pieces are, and I'm holding them up in the air. I probably sound like such a wimp, but that's the way it is. That's how it is. And I will definitely be saving this rust dust that you're seeing on the garbage bag, because I will just use this and I'll put it like into a little jar or something. And then when I continue to do more rusting or use or create my own iron mordant, I will just add that into it. So don't toss that, because it's definitely something you can reuse to make newer, you know, types of rusted fabrics and whatnot. And I've rusted paper too. I'm not sure where those are. I may not have brought those with us initially, because since our move here to Montana, we did not bring everything, because we're not like in our permanent, like, you know, long, not I want to say lifelong, but our permanent living situation. So we kept a lot of our furniture and probably a pretty good chunk of my stuff, my crafting supplies and stuff, back home in storage. And so I don't know if can't remember if I brought some of that paper or not. I tried to bring a pretty good sampling of a lot of the different things I know that I will be using here. And this is some of the duck cloth, I think, if I remember right. There's that. Even some of the muslin that was, you know, pretty thin weight, it still is thicker and kind of heavier, just because of it being frozen and, you know, just sitting out in the elements as long as it did. So, but once I get these rinsed off, it'll, you know, soften up to some degree. And if it doesn't, I'm cool with that too, because that's all part of the texture. It's not just visual and tactile, it's also, you know, well, the visual of it, seeing it so like rolled up like that, you know, kind of the stiffness of it, if that makes any sense. So cool. It almost looks like it's been burnt, like in, you know, a fire pit or something. So, okay, how did I wrap this baby up? Let's see. Oh, there it is. And get this one down. This piece is so cool. So cool. When I get my, I guess my forever craft / art studio, it's my husband's gonna build like an outbuilding for me. More about that later when we get to that point. And I want to, you know, forage around for more things like this, different bits of hardware and whatnot that I can use on, you know, the doors and different components inside my room. So, because I love how that looks. That's like totally my jam. And then here's a smaller piece that was on there. Some of it's like a really cool black color, pretty awesome. All right, those are undone. I think I have left just this little pile here. Let me make sure nothing's hiding underneath, and there is something. Okay, this should be it. All right, and we got some small bits here. These are some of the different nails and bolts and stuff, if I remember correctly. What I did here. Oh, this is like a little, words escape me. Does this happen to you guys that that actually do videos and things like that? I forget what things are called, and as soon as I turn the camera off, I'm like, oh, duh, Abby, that's what it was. I'll put it across the screen. I know what this is, but I cannot think of it off the top of my head, so there is that. All right, so there's this piece here. Almost looks like a corkscrew type of a thing. So cool. Just the different depths that you get just in the different colors and tones. So awesome. And here's a large nail or screw or whatever bolt thing there, and then here, and another. I probably would have done more, but it was so cold the day that I was filming me wrapping these up, and I was out, and I didn't put on a sweatshirt because I didn't want to have my sleeves and stuff get in the way. But so I kind of did a little bit quicker and not as many as I wanted to, but you know, I've got nothing but time to do more of these, so it's no big deal. I do like using the smaller pieces as well. You get some really cool marks on your fabrics. This is like the spout part, pour part of an old like coffee. Yeah, I'm trying to say like pitcher. Oh my goodness, Abby, like a coffee craft type of thing. There we go. All right, and here I think this is the last of the horseshoes. I've also done it with horseshoes. Not as many as I have been finding around here that I've been foraging for, but I've done like smaller strips of like cotton fabric, and I would just take it and like cut it into, you know, tear it, not cut, but I would tear it into smaller, you know, strips, and I would just tie it like this and just kind of get a really cool look where each section was tied onto the rusty item, whether it be just like a bar or a horseshoe or what have you, whatever you can find. So it's pretty cool. I'm just trying to be cautious and careful as much as possible because I'm trying not to. Oh, this right here. That is just from the bottom of that aluminum pan that I was using. So that's what that is. It's a really cool look, I think. So I like that because I showed that to the hubs to see what he thought about it. Stay. All right, so there's this bit here. And these are just going to be so cool when I get them soaked and rinsed. Oh, let's finish this one here. You know, and I have tons and tons of ideas I'm going to be sharing with you guys on how I'm going to be using these bits of fabric. I will also be putting some fabric packs up on my Etsy shop too. I don't know when that's going to happen, but it will, because, you know, I can make this kind of stuff over and over and over again, and every piece is going to be different. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That's where, what did I just have? That's where this top piece was right there. Neat. This is just so fun. I love it so much. All right, getting down to the last few pieces here, guys. This is probably a little monotonous, and I'm sorry if it is. Let's see here. It feels like there's something else in there. Oh, almost looks like a metal mushroom. Isn't that funny? Iron mushroom. All right, and then there's this piece here. And you can also get different looks, like, you know, when I reuse this piece right here, for example, or even this one here, if I wrap them differently inside the whatever the substrate is I'm using, you can get different looks as well. So it's kind of fun to do that. And I think I have two pieces in this one. These are probably some of my favorite pieces to use. I just love the marks you get. That kind of coffee cup ring look. And this is top of an old mason jar. Oof, it's got a poof of rust dust there. Make sure I don't breathe that in. There we go. And I think these are my last few pieces here, these small ones. So we'll get these done and get them soaking. There's a spring. Ooh, I did get some marks from the spring. Isn't that cool? Almost looks like ghost stamping on there. Pretty cool. And this is some of the canvas. And just depending on what types of fabrics and different weights that you are using will also determine, you know, the outcome to some degree, because, you know, this is all a natural process and it does what it wants. So there's that one. Got a really cool mark on it right there. And then I think this is the last one, you guys, the last one. All right, there we go. Last little piece. All right, so let me kind of get the rusty stuff off into the bucket, and I'll come back and we'll take a little bit closer look at these before I soak them. So I'll see you in just a minute. Okay, I zoomed out a tad just so we can kind of see the bulk of it. We're not going to be able to see all of it, of course, but as much as we can right now. And this is just so cool, you guys. I just am so thrilled with the results of this rusting. It's just awesome. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and end this video, and then I will come back with the second part of where I'm showing you the process of how I'm just soaking them, just in case you want to see that. I don't know. I'm probably going to experiment and maybe soak some just like in a little bit of salt water, and then have another bucket of just regular water just to kind of see if it does anything. Will it? I don't know. But let's kind of experiment together and see. So, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to show these two. Just so cool looking, so fun. And I have so many fun ideas and projects to create with these lovely materials. And as I said from the first part, this is absolutely my favorite piece so far. I just think it is so cool. I love the transparency of it. And it is just such a cool feeling. So when you hold it in your hands and just kind of, I mean, I have gloves on, but I can, you know, still kind of feel the texture. It's just so neat. I just love this so much. It's just such a really fun piece. So, all right, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed the first part of this, you know, rust dyeing video. I have another one from a while back. I'm pretty sure I filmed it. I will link it below if I haven't. If I did, I may not have, like I said, because it was back a couple of years ago, I think. So, and don't forget to save your rusty dust and all the little rusty crusty bits, because you can reuse those in your iron mordants, and then also in future even eco dyeing, which I have videos on that, so I'll link all those. I think I have a playlist actually. I'll link that below too, so you can watch that if you're interested, in case you are newer to my channel and you have not seen those videos. And yeah, so when we come back, the next video in this little series here, it's going to be, like I mentioned, me kind of soaking everything and kind of seeing what it's going to look like once it's all done and dry and a little bit more pliable for some of the different materials, and kind of go from there. So I hope that you enjoyed this video thus far. There's the strings, and then there even the rubber bands. So this was a lot of fun to do, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and then I will see you in part 2. Bye for now.